Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be drawing my OC Marilyn because I haven't drawn her digitally in over 2 years and I am tired of showing the old one every time I had to show a picture of Marilyn for reference. So first step, I had to trace over my sketch. However, I actually hated how this was looking. I just thought it looked so chopped. At first, I was just trying to work with it, but honestly, I just knew that there was no way I could make myself like this. So I just had to completely restart and make a new sketch, and this is what I ended up with. You might be thinking, but doesn't this look worse than the original sketch? Well, yes, it does. But the things I changed with the proportions, I knew when I was tracing it over digitally, I would be able to fix it easier this way. So I knew it would be better in the end. If you're wondering whether or not this pose that I was drawing was inspired by anything, it actually was. So me and my sister got a new poster in our bedroom. The poster is of a K-pop girl group, and one of the girls was making this pose, and I just thought it was so cute, and I didn't want to get up a reference picture on my phone to find something from Pinterest or something, and I have trouble drawing without reference. So I decided to use that for reference instead. I was having a lot of trouble with the pose though, so honestly, maybe I shouldn't have tried that, but it's okay. As you can see right now in this sketch, her arm looks way too long and way too weird. I'm gonna change that later, don't worry. There's actually a lot I still need to change. I feel like it looks so bad right now, but that's okay. I just had to try my best to fix things later. I wasn't feeling my best while drawing this, and I think it definitely shows because it just doesn't look very good right now. But I'm still happy that I decided to draw Marilyn again because it's definitely a huge improvement, the final result from my old picture. Some of you guys might be wondering who Marilyn even is. Like, does she have a story? Well, she actually does have a story. So Marilyn is from my OC world that I like to call my fairy tale world. It's basically just a bunch of OCs that have sort of magical elements to them, like Annette is a living doll, Willow is a sheep girl, and I have some elf characters. Marilyn, however, is the only normal girl out of all those OCs. Her story starts when she was just a young girl, so she was raised by her grandfather in a cottage all alone, and she didn't know anybody else in the forest. She never went to the village, and she just stayed alone. Sadly though, eventually her grandfather got sick and passed away. This left Marilyn all alone. And one day, noticing that there was no food left in the cottage, she had to try to go out to the village all alone, but it was snowing and she ended up collapsing. Luckily for her though, she brought along Annette, her doll, and Annette actually had a conscience, but she couldn't move. However, realizing how much love she had in her heart for Marilyn and how much she wanted to save the little girls, she ended up coming to life and rescued Marilyn, basically by making all the snow melt. And that's where the fairy tale world is meant to start. After that, Marilyn ends up meeting some other friends. In a sense, I've always imagined that Marilyn is the main character of the world, like if it was a show or something. I made other videos talking about the other OCs. I'd especially recommend this one if you want to know about Faye and Avery's story. I just made a comic for them, and it actually does include Marilyn and the other characters from the fairy tale world, so I definitely think it would be a good watch, if you're interested, that is. I know I'm pretty far into the video to mention this, but I'm sorry if my voice sounds kind of weird. I know that it probably does. I don't know if you guys have noticed or not. Now we're moving on to coloring though, which was a lot of fun because I really love Marilyn's color palette. It's very simple, but I think it's really pretty. There's something about the combo of the pink and purple that I really like, and then her eyes are supposed to be like this olive green color, not a very vibrant green, and I think it's so pretty. It just makes Marilyn really unique. By the way, fun fact, Marilyn was actually my first profile picture ever on YouTube. When I first started, I didn't have anything ready for my channel. I just sort of made my channel and didn't know what to use as my profile picture, so I ended up using this drawing of Marilyn. I always think it's funny that she was my first ever profile picture, so she kind of has a special place in my heart for that. And now I'm moving over her eye a little bit because it just looked so weird, and I'm gonna move on to actually shading the picture, which I did enjoy. I especially enjoyed shading her hair. It took a really long time, like almost an entire half hour, but it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the process. You also might be wondering what in the world is going on with her hair. Like, what is her hairstyle? How does it work? Like, what? And my answer is, I have no clue. Her hair isn't really supposed to make any sense. I was purposely designing her as a character that has an unnatural, impossible, weird hairstyle, so kind of to make it so that she's a little bit more interesting because she's in the fairy tale world, you know? Like, she's a normal girl, but there's gotta be something weird about her, which is her hair. I don't know how it works. I just draw it and we try to go with it. They're not exactly braids, but I don't know what they are. Somebody once commented that they remind them of Marshmallow Twist, and honestly, they're not wrong. When people have made fan art before, they've even drawn it as sort of like these giant ringlets, and like that kind of makes sense to me too. Honestly, I'm not strict with how her hair is supposed to look, it just is what it is. Also, I think the reason maybe that I didn't really like the way that this picture turned out, like it just is not what I wanted it to be, is maybe because I made the line art a little bit thick. I feel like I don't really like the way that the line art looks. Also, I feel like her finger looks weird, and overall I just don't really like it. But I mean, not everything I draw can be my favorite drawing ever, and plus, for you guys watching, people know that sometimes art doesn't turn out how you want it to, but I feel like it can be good for other artists to see that. Like, don't be frustrated if your art doesn't always turn out amazing, it's just life. I liked adding the shines to her hair though. Like I said, I liked the entire process of drawing her hair. It's just really fun. Oh, and I debated adding a flower crown to her. You see, usually I draw Marilyn with a flower crown, but this time I felt like I didn't really want to draw one, mostly because I was feeling lazy, and also just because I wanted to see how her design would look without the flower crown, because I've been debating maybe she doesn't need a flower crown all the time. Like, it doesn't have to be part of her design, just something that she can have, sort of like an optional thing. And I do like how it looks without the flower crown, so I think that maybe from now on I just will draw her with or without the flower crown. Like, both ways are okay. Although I do wonder if the picture would be just a little bit more cute if I had included it. I don't know. Oh, I guess I talked all about Marilyn's story, but I never mentioned her personality. So she's kind of like a big sister type personality girl. She's very sweet and like kind of loving and caring to other people. But she also has a little bit of, I guess you would say, like, she can be a little bit maybe like sassy or a little bit like energetic and fun, kind of like teasing, playful, that type of character. I have never written out the story for them. I've only written out short stories, never like the big full story that I imagined for the fairy tale OCs, but it's definitely a story that's very precious to me regardless. But anyways, now here we are. Here is the finished picture of Marilyn. If you guys like this video, please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now! Featured in today's Fanart Spotlight is Mary's sketchbook. Thank you so much for drawing Avery. He looks so cute and perfect in your art style.